What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate support. Guys, it's no secret. I talk a lot about how fucked up the justice system is and how they don't really care about you, and the only person that gets justice is the real criminal 9 out of 10 times. I'm also one of them people that's an advocate for extreme punishments for extreme crimes. But yet again, you don't hear nothing about that from the justice system. We have a new criminal mindset out here that is not scared of jail, not scared of committing crimes, namely murder and vicious, malicious intent. And we got people out here now where they gonna do what they want to do regardless, and if they can play crazy, they'll play it, and a lot of times it works in their favor. I also believe that life sentence is a win for the criminal, especially after taking somebody else's life, namely a child. Look at where we are nowadays, ladies and gentlemen. We see crimes committed from every age, every spectrum of the age, whether it's 0 months all the way until 100 years old. Anybody's a victim nowadays out here. Today I want to talk about a story out of Kentucky. And this right here makes me absolutely sick. You see this guy up here? The guy you see up here is Robert Exantis. This guy's been locked up for the past 7 years. Why? Because in December of 2015, this guy drove from Indiana all the way to Kentucky, broke into a house of people he didn't know, went into a bedroom after having a kitchen knife and stabbing a 6-year-old boy, pictured here, and his sister, who you'll see later on in this series of videos I show you. Little boy, his name was Logan Tipton. He was 6 years old. He loved football and a lot of other things little boys like. This guy went into a house, a family's house, and stabbed him to death in his bed. Stabbed his sister. The stuff they're going to describe to you is horrible. Then he played insanity in court, rolling the dice on that, and the numbers came up in his favor. He was sentenced in 2018. He's just been released 2025. He was found not guilty of a murder by reason of insanity. This is a dialysis nurse before he went to jail. But he's crazy. They got that off. They only gave him, he was found guilty in court, in trial, for the assault instead. So he took an assault charge, did time for an assault. They're letting his ass out of jail. And he brutalized the family, both physically and mentally, from scars they'll never recover from. Take a look at this BS.
Thank you. The family of a for sale's child killed in his bed says justice was not served. They're outraged after a jury found Logan Tipton's accused killer not guilty by reason of insanity. Yet jurors found Ronald Exantis guilty but mentally ill on assault charges. Lee Searcy joins us live from the Fayette County Courthouse with the LEX18 Big Story today at noon. Lee?
Well, Dia, within the hour, that same jury will be back here at the Fayette County Courthouse to go through the sentencing phase of this case. Logan Tipton's mother calls the murder verdict insane. It's not the verdict Logan Tipton's family expected.
On the charge of murder, the jury has returned the following verdict. With the jury found the defendant Ronald Exantis not guilty for reason of insanity.
Their screams heard from outside the courtroom. The former dialysis nurse sat quietly during that verdict, gently rocking as he's done throughout the trial. While the jury found him not guilty by reason of insanity on murder, jurors found him guilty but mentally ill on the assault charges. Logan's mother doesn't understand it, telling me How do you go from insane upon entry to mentally ill, assaulting another child, to insane, killing Logan, then back to mentally ill, assaulting her other child and Logan's father? Prosecutors showed the bent knife that was used the night Exantis slipped into the family's home and stabbed Logan to death. An insane nightmare, Heather Tipton says her family will relive forever. Clearly, the defense struck a chord with the jury during closing arguments.
This is insanity. There is no intentionality. There is no knowing this. This is a tragic, insane nightmare.
And as for the assault charges, Exantis faces up to 20 years in prison. We are covering the news live in Lexington from the LEX 18 mobile newsroom. Back to you.
Logan Tipton was not physically in the courtroom, but everywhere you looked, you saw his face. Dozens of supporters showed up, each wearing a T-shirt that said his voice will be heard. What started at the 50-yard line on a frigid night in 2015 ended on a rainy Tuesday morning outside a courthouse.
It wasn't just us. It was this whole community.
Inside the courtroom,
when you murdered my son, you slaughtered my entire family.
we heard the family's heartache.
He gets to go on and live his life. He gets to go one day. He may get to go and hug his children again. I won't. When I go to see my son, I have to go to a graveyard.
In 2015, Exantis drove from Indianapolis to Versailles, broke into the Tipton's home, and stabbed 6-year-old Logan Tipton to death while he slept.
All right, Mr. Exantis, would you please stand?
Earlier this year, a jury found Ronald Exantis guilty but mentally ill of assault. He was found not guilty of murder and burglary by reason of insanity. Exantis did not speak before he was sentenced, but the victim's family did. Cheers erupted as Logan's older sister finished her victim impact statement. As for Logan's mother, she says one day she will find it in her heart to forgive.
Think about my son. Think about my children and the lives that you've ruined. And remember that I will forgive you for me, not for you.
For Logan's father, forgiveness doesn't come so easily.
I hate that part about me, but, you know, Logan deserves more.
Morgan Lentis, WLKY News.
6-year-old Kentucky boy was killed by a stranger in his bedroom nearly a decade ago.
The man convicted of killing him was released years early. As WDRB's Addie Shaney shows us, the family fears he may now come back.
This is the street 6-year-old Logan Tipton lived on when he was brutally murdered in his bedroom by a stranger in 2015. The man convicted in that killing, Ronald Exantis, is now out of prison after just 10 years, many years before his sentence was set to end. Exantis was sentenced to 20 years in 2018, but on Wednesday, he was released early for good behavior. The now 42-year-old was found not guilty of murder by reason of insanity, but convicted for the violent assaults on Logan's siblings and parents the night he broke into their home. On December 7th, 2015, police say Exantis broke into the home on Douglas Avenue, walked upstairs, and used a kitchen knife to stab Logan as he slept. The boy cried out, waking his sister Dakota, who survived being stabbed.
I didn't know that he was right above me, but he stabbed me in my back. Then I got stomped on my head and I couldn't hear it of this ear. I remember waking up across the room, not where I was at, and I looked and he was killing Logan. And Logan was screaming for us.
Logan's father tackled Exantis and held him down until police arrived. During a 6-day trial, the defense argued Exantis was in a state of psychosis, but both sides agreed he killed Logan.
As a father, I fear that he may come back and try to finish because if I remember right, he told Coral that he was going to kill everyone.
Exantis will remain under court supervision until June of 2026. In Versailles, Addie Shaney, WDRB News.
A Woodford County family has spent 10 years trying to heal after their 6-year-old son was killed in their home. Now the man at the center of that case is out of prison. Kylie Hill sat down with the family and shares why his release is reopening old wounds.
It was a freak incident. one that changed the Tipton family forever.
I woke up and I heard Logan screaming, and all I could see was a man, a big man, over top of him, stabbing him.
Logan was just 6 years old, a boy who loved football and his family. And on the night of December 7th, 2015, his life was taken after being stabbed to death.
He was gasping for air. And I held him in my arms. And finally, he took his last breath, looked at me, and closed his eyes, and he was gone.
That night, 10 years ago, Ronald Exantis traveled from Indianapolis to Versailles, walked into the Tiptons' home, and attacked the family in their sleep. Logan was killed, and his father and 2 sisters were injured.
He snaps, and he just stands up with me sitting on top of him, and he throws me across the room. 10, 15 feet, he throws me across the room and goes after her.
3 years later, in 2018, Exantis was found not guilty of murder by reason of insanity, but convicted of assaulting other family members. And just this month, October 1st, Exantis was released early from prison for good behavior.
It's infuriating that a 6-year-old was killed sleeping in his bed, and someone literally only did 10 years in prison, and he didn't even do the time for that. He did time for assault charges. It's just infuriating.
But the family says it isn't just anger they're living with. It's fear.
Me and my siblings, and even my mom and dad, from here on out, we have the burden of making sure that he doesn't come back.
He told her he was going to kill every one of us. So now I've got to be on extra guard to protect my kids, because I will not lose another one. Not like this.
Through it all, the Tiptons say they refuse to let this tragedy define their lives. Instead, they choose to love like Logan.
I made myself a promise I wasn't going to let this tear us apart, because statistically, Dean and I should be divorced. Our family should have just broken apart at the seams statistically, and I made a promise that wasn't going to happen, and I'm not going to let it happen.
Exantis will serve 6 months of parole in Florida. Kylie Hill, Fox 56 News.
That's Exhibit A, B, C, D, and fucking F right there. They don't care about you. People fight about color, black and white, and all this other shit. I told you the real color is green. And I also told you that the justice system don't want a hand on none of this shit. They'll do anything, whether it's a slap on the wrist or whatever, just to say they did something. And there's your proof right there. 6-year-old little boy, look at him. Look at him. Liked football, had dreams and aspirations, had a family, mother and father in the house. Seemed like they love each other. And he's gone. This type of stuff tears families apart. Did you hear what the woman said? I'm not going to let that happen to us. Statistically, we shouldn't be together. And what she means by that is basically when tragedy and stuff like this strikes, a lot of times people put the blame on themselves or each other as couples in a family, and the very fabric of that holds the family together unravels. They're still together. Their marriage is built on something. Those people stand for something. I'm more than sure they pay taxes, go to work like everybody else. But they didn't get a fair shake in the justice system that they were pulled into, because you're told you can't, what you can and can't do as far as self-defense in your own house when an invader comes in there. That dude right there, they showed compassion too by not killing his ass in that fucking house. And what do they get back? Not a slap in the face, but a donkey kick. Them people's kid is dead. This motherfucker does 10 years. 3 years in county jail, 7 behind the wall, I guess. And because he was a good boy, they let him come home. See, I'm gonna tell you something. There's too many people's hands, minds, and opinions in what goes on, to you the victim or the victim's family when it comes to the justice system. So all these different rules and stipulations and all of that stuff, and ain't none of them got anything to do with common fucking sense. And I can prove it to you right now. This guy drove from another state to their Kentucky home, didn't know him, just stopped there, got out the car, claiming he had some type of psychosis. Went in the house, broke in the house, stabbed the people, the daughter and the little boy, gets into it with the dad, and little boy dies in the father's arms. Psychologically, how fucked up is that? You never get over that. There's no amount of medication or psychiatric or just counseling, period, that makes you unsee what you saw. And the pain in your heart and the hole that's there, that's left, that'll never be filled. The least you can do is kill killers. Take people out of here that do shit. He was smart enough to be a dialysis nurse. And they talking about, oh, he's guilty by reason of insanity. Looked like he was sane up there sitting in that courtroom that whole time, whatever, how long that trial was. And trust me, when I go sit in trials and I cover these stories for y'all, it's hell sitting in there in them chairs just being quiet and staying still. It's hard. It takes intense focus. He had that when he was in there. You see him shake his head, laughing with his lawyer. He was sane then. Heard what the wife said? It ain't fair. You only sane when the opportunity presents itself and works in your favor. I believe that shit. Fuck that. People that do violent, malicious crimes should go. Should go. They gave, if you look at this for what it's worth, they gave this guy, they shortened his prison sentence because of good behavior in a place where he was supposed to serve out a punishment for killing the baby. You let that sink in. They talking about, I seen the story up here. Oh, the White House is investigating this thing. They ain't investigating shit because his ass is out already. If you want to investigate something up there, those on Capitol Hill, investigate your own legislature as far as what you deem acceptable punishment or acceptable time behind bars and these dumbass guidelines that you don't need when you can look and see something's wrong out here. People make money when people get locked up. They also make money when they release you. You know why? Because prison has a 70% recidivism rate, meaning people go back. It's a cash cow. Prison is like a casino to gambling addicts. And the gambling addicts are the ones that commit the crimes out here and can't get out of their own fucking way. And there's a whole lot of them. So yeah, they'll let them out. And the people that get mad, but can't do anything about it. And life goes on. But not for these people. That's hurtful. Just from a standpoint of being a father myself, I want you to think about some of the stuff I'm more than sure this guy goes through. Little boy liked football. Every time he watches football and they show a football player on TV and they'll show his parents in the stand, he think of his son. Every time he walked down that corridor and see the pictures of his baby up there, he can remember the day of what it was and what he did with him and how he felt inside. And now all of that's taken away from him. The whole family, when his birthday comes up, everybody's sad. It's a day of remembrance. That shouldn't be. It should be a day of celebration, not sadness. Every time this man looks at his wife and sees a teardrop out of her eye, he think about that time he couldn't save his fucking son. It's fucked up out here. It's fucked up. And those in the high castle don't give a fuck. They'll rather go over there and fucking deal with issues in foreign policy and stick their nose up other countries' asses, telling them what they should and should not do. And we're over here fucking getting peeled like onions every fucking day. I could never be president. They wouldn't allow it because a lot of people would lose money. Nobody would fund my campaign. And then they spread some hysteria saying, oh, he's a madman. He wants to kill people. No, I don't. I want peace and harmony in the land again. There's always going to be bad. But if you increase the punishment, you can lessen the degree of the devilishment that's walking the earth amongst us. They call that shit criminal justice. Only person got justice was the criminal. He did 7 years behind the wall. That's a cakewalk. Anybody that been locked up. He was already institutionalized when he was going back and forth to fucking court. So what you think he cared about? He went in there, came out, got his weight up. See it? You know what I'm saying? You don't get adequate medical attention in jail. So how was he performed? Now they're sending his ass to Florida, where he can start his life over again. Where this little boy is not coming back. Another thing is this. I want you to think about what the woman said. What the man said at the sentencing. He said he'll get to hug his kids, but I gotta go see mine in the graveyard. Enough said. Even it out. Even it out. There's always gonna be evil and good. But damn, man, where's the real justice when you really need it? Because they don't want to fuck around with that shit. They don't. The defense lawyer, did you see her? It's insanity, people. Yeah, a lot of shit people do is insanity. Running up in the store and stealing shit and running out is insanity. Touching a kid is insanity. All that other stuff is insanity. But then again, there's a big difference between insanity and just unruly discipline and willful error. And I think the world got it fucked up. If motherfuckers know that people will kill them, the state or the government would kill you for killing others, a lot of this shit would stop. Trust me, it would. People that have guns and shoot other people don't never want to get shot. Or those that stab other people don't never want to get that blade put to their bone. But it's like for some odd reason, they tell you they care. They tell you you'll get justice. They tell you that it's upsetting what happened to your child. But do they really do their best in bringing justice to you? That little boy's dead. Family traumatized. He did 10 years and he gets to live again. Who do you think won in the end? I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. May this little boy, Logan Tipton, rest in peace. And prayers and condolences do go on in his family. And hopefully they'll continue to heal and stay strong together. I will see you in the next video. Take care.